Before I get to my thoughts on this album, I'm going to say this right now. If you are an absolute die-hard fan of Lil Wayne and love everything from the Carter 2 up, even the bad stuff, stop listening to this review right now and go buy I Am Not a Human Being 2. You will love it to death. But for those who want to stick around and hear my thoughts, here it goes. For those who don't know, I'm Not a Human Being 2 is a 10th studio album by rapper Lil Wayne and serves as a sequel to his I'm Not a Human Being album. And I'm going to say this now, compared to his previous work, this album comes off really weak because it's halfway boring, if not catchy at times. The beats and production is snappy and it switches up enough to keep you interested, but it doesn't do enough for the album to keep it consistent. And another thing is, while on some tracks, Wayne's wordplay is really interesting and he pulls out every single metaphor in the book and you go like, oh, that was nice every now and then. It's just the content of these lyrics is just so bad. He stays on the same three topics basically, which is money, women, and drugs. And it's really hype at first, but then it just gets really boring. And you start thinking, why am I still listening to this? And it gets to the point where you stop paying attention to the track because you're just done with the content. And also for the vast majority of this album, Wayne doesn't even sound like he's trying. He's mumbling through his words, keeping the same monotone pace instead of the almost hyperactive, energy-driven Wayne that we're used to. And guess his apathy really just shows on this album, and I wish and I know he can do better. But I will give the album credit for being catchy. Love Me is pretty addictive, and I will say my standout tracks on this album were Back to You, God Bless America, and Romance because I thought the song was hilarious. But in the end, I'm going to have to give this album about a 2.5 out of 5 because personally, I have seen Wayne do better. And as a fan of everything from the Carter 2 back, I know he can do better, and I think he needs to go back to push himself forward. But for those who stuck around, as always, thank you for watching, and next week we go for More Than a Feeling with Jeremy Passion.